Hello, it's Kerry from Mobilates. I'm here at Virtual Village Hall for Wednesday session again, and we're going to have 30 minutes of really gentle, mindful movement, Pilates inspired, suitable for chair, suitable for standing, suitable for sitting on a bed and doing it there, so that when we come to do the lying down section, you just roll onto the bed. Pull your duvet back first, it'll give you a better base. But let's get started. So sitting or standing comfortably, you can see I've just made my legs a little bit wider so I feel nice and stable. Just going to do some really slow breathing. We're going to breathe in for 4, hold it very briefly, and then blow it out through pursed lips for 5. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Soft bellies, so there's room for our diaphragm as we breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hopefully that's just centered you, it's brought your shoulders down, just brings your focus really into what you're doing. We're going to move our legs in. I'm going to be watchful this time of the comments because last time I know my sound dropped. I'm just checking. Oh yes, little messages from Virtual Village Hall. I'm just saying hello to you all. My sound dropped last week. I pressed a mute button somewhere. So I know some of you couldn't hear me, but carried on regardless. Well done. This week, I've got different music, nice classical background. Hopefully you'll hear me all the way through. Let's get ourselves into alignment. If you're standing, your feet are parallel, about hip width. We're talking hips at the front, not hips at the side, by the way. Soft knees, and then pull up from the base of your spine, the tailbone right under your bottom to the top of your head. If you're sitting, 2 fists apart between your knees, legs are at a right angle, pulling up the same way, nice and tall, feel like you've just grown a couple of inches. Open out across here. Give your shoulders a little wiggle. You want to feel your shoulder blades at the back, just hugging into the spine, coming down a little. Sometimes people say coming down into your back pockets. Don't want them to go that far, but just coming in and down. Bring that chin in without letting your head dip down. That's it. Now you feel like you've got a few extra chins under here. A beautiful long giraffe neck. Start a little head rotation. So just like you're on a turntable. I know when I watch Bake Off and I see them doing the icing on the turntable, I always think of this move. And whilst you're doing that, keeping this openness, keeping that gentle squeeze on the back. Is that Irene saying hello, 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 Lisa? Lovely to see you both. Remember, you can see me, but I can't see you. Bring it back to the center. Little tilt to one side, back to the center, tilt to the other. Now, as we're doing this, keep it going. It's a mobilization. It's a movement rather than a big stretch. And we're trying to keep these shoulders like a spirit level, nice and still. You know, my eyes, I can't see from this distance. I have to come into the screen to look. Put my reading glasses on, I can't see the screen properly. You know the problem, I'm sure. And then bring our heads back to the center. We'll turn to one side. Take your eyes up, look up a little bit more, and then keeping some length on your neck, bring your chin down, and I'm moving in about a semicircle of movement under here. Now, some people like it bigger. If that feels like you, if you like to do it almost like a full circle, go with it. If you like to do it smaller, go with that. But do check that after that lovely breath at the beginning, you're still breathing now. And then we'll bring it back to the center, roll up, and we'll start just one shoulder rolling back and just see how that feels. And we're trying to let the shoulder lead the way. So what I mean by that is if your elbow's doing that, your elbow's leading the way. So just let your shoulder lead the way. Now, if you've got real discomfort in your shoulder and you're sitting, you might want to leave your hand down. But if you get your arm down, you'll get more movement into it. But if that's too much, just try and balance your hand somewhere close. Oh, Christine, I know exactly what you mean, the crunchy neck. Let's go for the other side. Well, when you've got a crunchy neck, often you want the movement in your shoulders, in your sort of upper back section. Hopefully it will help. If it's not a crunchy neck, it's crunchy shoulders, and sometimes it's both. Let's go both sides together with breath. So as the shoulders come up, breathing in. As they go round and down, breathing out. So ready to breathe in and breathing out. Breathing in through the nose, blowing out through the mouth. A couple more, breathing in through the nose, blowing out through the mouth. Last one, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And we'll add some shoulder shrugs just for some extra. So breathing in, take your shoulders up. Breathing out, melt them down slightly backwards as well. So you're just squeezing those shoulder blades together, and I'm really actively taking my hands down my legs. And they bounce up a little, breathe in, take them up. We're going to slowly take them down with that exhale, slightly squeezing back. So you get that openness across the collarbone. Last one, breathe in, take them up. Slowly melting them down. Squeezing slightly, letting those fingers just go a little bit further. Oh, back to normal. Right, bit of warm up. It is quite chilly today, so I'm going straight into this sort of move. I can hear my knees clicking like crazy. So it's just tiny heel raise off the floor, soft knees. I'll show you from the side, and I'll show you from the side sitting. I don't mind if you've got alternating arms and legs or the same side, especially if you're seated. As long as they're moving, you're getting some warmth going through. If you want to take it a bit faster, you can take your feet off the floor. You can move your arms like this, like this. You can take your legs out to the side. It's just all about creating some warmth, bringing the pulse up a little, just because it's nicer for our bodies to move when they're a little bit warmer. And if you're sitting, just the same. Feet are just leaving the floor. That's it. Pulling into your belly a little bit as well. Let's warm up those abdominal muscles whilst we're here. Pulling in as if there's a zip going right up here. Real high-waisted Simon Cowell trousers. You know the sort. Breathing a little deeper. Hopefully you're feeling a little warmer. And let's just pause for a moment. Let's go into the hands. Either clasping your hands like this, or two fists separately, or whatever shape you can take your hands into. And then we're going to go into, it's like a figure of 8 on its side, infinity symbol. I like to come in close for this one. Now this is one of those moves that when you practice it, you definitely get better. But the first time you do it, it can be all sorts of slow and difficult to get going. And it's a noisy move. It's one of those moves where you might get a few clunks, tendons, things like that. It's not usually anything harmful. It's just what the body does. And if you've got two fists together, just moving them, trying to get that shape. And then open out. Everybody open out your hands, stretch those fingers, give them a wiggle. And then elbows into the side, into the waist. And we're just working on those forearms and wrists, really stretching our fingers out. And you can move a little bit, get a bit creative. Feel like you're expressing something with your fingers. And now we can let those elbows come out from the sides. Now at the moment, you see my body completely still. It's all happening at the front and the sides. And that might be enough, especially if you've got anything going on with rotator cuffs and shoulder injuries. That can feel pretty strong. If you're okay, you might want to make it a little bigger. So it's like sort of going over a wave and coming back again. This invites a bit of a bend and a bit of an extension. So bending over a little, extending back. If you've got something like osteoporosis, you want to keep this bend fairly small and the extension small. But it's usually safe to do unless you've been told otherwise, as long as you keep the movement fairly minimal. If you're feeling okay, you know that you're good in your back, you might want to take it a bit bigger, soft knees, bend down a bit further. We're mobilizing the whole spine and we're getting nice and warm at the same time. Couple more of these. Last one. Come up, enjoy those tingles. From this position, we're going to go into a balance. So I've got my chair at the side. I could just be using a hand here, or I could be standing behind it. You need a little bit of room to the side because we're going to raise a leg. So from here, you might not need your balance. You might just have your arms out. Stand up tall, trying to keep these hips even. Don't want this to happen or that to happen. Nice and even. Pull it up here. Zip up those high-waisted trousers. I'm just up onto my toe tip. My foot's balancing on the floor. That could be enough. All the weight's going down this leg. And take it down. Another one. Maybe a little bit higher. Maybe even a foot off the floor. And take it down. If you're sitting, you've already got this bend in your knee. So that's me just bringing my heel up. You can't see my foot, but you can see this leg's come up. Try and stop that knee going into the other knee. And take it down. Might be you come a bit higher, or working the same leg, by the way. That's me with my foot off the floor. It's quite strong here when you're sitting because you've already got that flexion, that bend going on, the leg coming towards you. It's all a balance challenge. Let's take it down. Give it a little wiggle. Other side. So just going onto the toe first. If I show you from the side. See that leg traveling forwards. If you want your arms out for balance, absolutely. If you want to challenge yourself, bring them in. If you want to challenge yourself even more, just look vaguely into the distance. So you only can see. Take it up a little higher. You can even bring your hands into the chest. That would challenge you a little bit as well. And if you're on something squishy, I'm on two mats. Makes it a little harder. And then take it down, give everything a little wiggle. We're going for a little bit of flexion and extension again. So just soft rounding forwards, taking it back, rounding forwards, taking it back, up tall, little slide down the side. Slide down the other side, let these muscles bring you up. Forwards again, little forward round, super small. Looking up slightly, a little bit of extension at the back. Back to the center, nice and straight, pull that chin in. Slide down, up, one more time. A little bit of flexion. Extension, back to the center. Sliding down. And then we're gonna, open our legs wider. So if you're standing or sitting, legs are still gonna go out wide. You can see my feet have gone out wide as well. And then we're gonna bring little knee bends into it. Now, if you're sitting, your knees are already bent. So what I'd like to do is press your feet into the floor and release. And as you press, pull into your belly. You can see I just come up a little as I press down. My glutes squeeze together a little too. And that's getting you the effect of the squat. Hello, Alan. Nice to see you. Hope you're enjoying it. Now, how far you go down is up to you. If your knees are a bit troublesome, it might be super small like that. If you're okay in your knees, it might be going a bit lower. Just watch that your knees are going out and they're not doing that. They're not collapsing in on one side or the other. So keep them out. Now we're going to put in some arm work. Now this can get a little confusing. We're going to go asymmetric. So one arm goes up, the other's out to the side. Palms are facing the screen. That's it. Oh, that's lovely to hear, Catherine, saying it's doing wonders for your spine. We've got another little nice move coming up just after this, which is nice for the spine. This is one that's nice for the body. It's good for the mind as well, this one. Trying to get your arms to do different things. Bit of a brain teaser. Couple more. Stretch those arms if you can. Now, if your arm won't go up that far, it might be like this, and you're taking it asymmetric like this. Still fine. Oh, I think that's enough though. Let's walk those legs in. So let's go to that next spinal movement. We're going to go into roll down. So you can take it nice and soft. So if you're standing, soft knees. If you're sitting, a bit more space between your knees. Tuck that chin back just like we did at the start. Give your shoulders a little roll. And then it's like you're going to roll your head down your body. So that chin just hovers here. And then I'm looking down. I start to look down at my belly. I'm trying to bring my head in. Weight's going slightly forwards. And then that could be enough. That's room for your arms to dangle there. It's a fairly gentle flexion, fairly gentle curve, not too much weight on the spine. Could take it lower if that's comfortable. As long as you feel you can control it. And then when you're ready to come up, you take your breath in. You pull your belly almost like it's going back to your spine. So you're pulling up and in. Stack yourself up. Really unfurl. Roll those shoulders, tuck the chin in, and you can do another. Now the other option, if you have got any issues in the low spine, take your legs wider, feet out, sit back like you're going to sit on a chair, straight back, hands just resting lightly here. You can see I've not gone very far forwards, I'm just hinged. And where my hand is here, I'm just going to tuck under. Let that ripple spread up until you feel the head bowing over. From here, push up. We're going to do a couple more. I'm going to do one of each. You do whatever is right for you. I'm going to do one sitting to the side here. This will be a normal roll down, chin in. Taking my head down the body here to the center, trying to keep it as close as possible. Could stop here. Could go down a little further. I'm going to widen my legs so there's room for my arms. Get that dangle. Breathe in and pull up. Unfurling. And then this is the hinge version sitting. So I'm hinging forwards, straight back this time. Then it's like I'm going to tuck my bottom under on this chair. Keep tucking all the way it ripples up. Press up. That's it. We're going down to the mat, onto your bed, whichever it is. I'm going to move the microphone. I'm not going to knock the sound out, hopefully this time. I shall see you down there. So remember, it can be on your bed, might even be on your sofa. Whatever works best for you. I'm just going to take the camera right down as well. That's it. And I've got some cushions with me today. So a cushion, a pillow, because you might want that in a moment. But first we're going to go down. Let's take all my clock and everything down as well. Lying on your back. And don't worry if you haven't got there yet, because we're going to be here for a little while. But if you're here already, get yourself comfortable. Let's have a little wriggle, particularly the pelvis. I find that needs a lot of wriggling. Spread your head and shoulders out. Shoulders particularly, I don't think you could spread your head, could you? Arms, that could go out though. Palms upwards is extra nice. And then take your legs together.
Take your heels out, toes forwards. You're now nicely aligned. Just feel what's in contact with the floor. Soles of your feet, just give my toes a little wriggle. Your pelvis. Some, but not all of your back. There's a little space underneath, slightly away from the floor. We'll explore that in a moment. I can feel my arms on the floor, my shoulders, back of my neck. That isn't touching the floor, but if you've got a cushion, it might be squishing against that. And then the back of my head, I can feel. You should be looking up towards the ceiling. I know you'll be looking at the screen as well, but ideally, that's where you'd look. If you're looking behind, you need a cushion. Now, from this position, we're going to take a breath in. Try and breathe into your ribs and your back. Feel that fill up with air right up here. And then as you breathe out, I want you just to tilt your pubic bone up. So your pelvis just tilts. And now your back has squished into the mat. So mine is now pressing down. It's a bit like I've been sucked into the mat here. My belly sort of tipped this way. So that's that little part of the back that in a moment we're going to take off the floor. So let's let that roll forward. See my pelvis there? Just go slightly forwards. That space is there. Take that breath in. And we're going to tip back against that pubic bone that's right here, comes up. And I've tipped back into the mat. This is lovely for the spine as well. So Catherine, you might have been enjoying this one. Rolling forwards again. Big breath into the side ribs, the back. And then breathing out, tightening your belly. Just letting your pelvis tip back. Beautiful. And then just relax. Right, we're going to do something similar. Not going to do the tipping, but we're going to be using that breath and our belly muscles. Take your arms upwards to the ceiling. My palms are facing each other. Now I could lift up like that, but we're not doing that today. We're going to put the shoulders down, so let them go down. As you take that breath in, so coming into your ribs and back, take your arms back a little. Trying also to stop your ribs from flaring too far out. So I'm only just going here. And then as I blow that air out and tighten my belly, keep the back just off the floor, and these arms are just coming towards the legs. They're not going to touch. Breathe in, take them back. Breathe out, take them towards your legs. And keep that going. Breathing in as they go back and out as they go forwards. But all the time, you're trying to keep your belly and your back still. All that control is going on there. The arms are quite relaxed. I can wiggle my fingers. Last one. Going back. And then take it down. And then let your legs have a little wiggle from side to side. We can do that one more time and add a little extra bit. So let's take the arms straight up. Let the shoulders sink down. Breathing in, take your arms back. This time we're going to circle our arms outwards a little as we breathe out. Breathing in, take them back. Circling them out, letting those shoulders be in contact with the floor. If you've got more room and your arms can take it, your shoulders can take it, you could go a little wider. You might even be brushing your hand across the floor. It depends so much on your shoulders and how much they open out. So even if they're going like super small like this, your shoulders will still thank you. Last one. And then we're going to roll over onto our sides. This is where you might need a cushion. I'm just going to grab a cushion here. So we've got our legs bent, feet in line with our bottom, head in line with our bottom and our back. Now what you do here is up to you. I like my arm like this. Some people like that. I definitely like a cushion, hence I've got a cushion here. Now at the moment, my waist is sinking right down to the mat. It's a bit like I'm lying on the beach, but I'm sort of on my side. I'm going to put my hand just under there. We're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, I want you to pull your waist up. Your hand is there just to feel that gap. So now I'm wriggling my fingers in that gap and then let it drop down. Breath in, pull it up, let it drop down, breath in, pull it up as you're breathing out, and then let it drop down. Now I'm going to take my arm towards you here, still got my cushion, and from this position, you can see I've got two hands together. Now you can still be like this and have your arm forwards like that, whatever works. And I'm on my side, not roll forwards or back, and I'm just going to let my arm just go downwards, like I'm trying to draw about a quarter circle. And then I reckon it can go a bit further, and I'm going to let my body tip that way a little bit backwards. And then I'm going to take it upwards a little. So now I'm drawing about, I would say 3/4 of a circle. I don't mind how big this is for you. It's whatever works for you. But you can see that as I go back here, my body will just have a little lie back and a little extra stretch. And I might start to take it in a full circle. So if I take my full circle back, I can let my legs open a little and go right round. It might be that your arm is quite high up. That would be a high up version. It might be that your arm can really drape down and touch the floor. I've just about got a finger tracing the floor some of the time. And then we're going to change directions, taking it forwards. So remember, it could just stay like this. Don't feel you've got to make a big circle. That could still feel nice. You might make it a bit bigger. You might stretch a little further. It all depends on what's working for you. Last one like this. And then we've got to repeat on the other side. Now you can roll away from me. I can't see you and you know how it goes. I'm going to switch around. The first bit we're doing is the lying on our side, pretending we're at the beach, which on a day like this, when it's raining really furiously outside in Devon, could do with a bit of beach weather. Hand is just going under here. Don't worry if you're squishing it. That's fine. We're sinking into the mat at the moment. But you're on your side. You're not rolling forwards. You're not rolling back. Right, balanced on your side. Feet in line with your bum. Shoulders back and head. Right, from here, take a breath in. As you breathe out, pull into your belly. Lift up with you. Now, I've got my hand away. I'm still lifting up there. Wriggling your fingers underneath, trying to feel that gap. And then take it down. Breathe in. Pull up. Just a tiny bit is fine. Breathe in. Pull up as you're breathing out. Tighten those belly muscles. Pull them right in. And we're going down. When you breathe in, it brings all these muscles at this side, the obliques in as well. Last one. Breathe in. Pull up as you breathe out. Well done. Right, that hand's coming out. I'm going to bring my arm in front here. But remember, it could stay there. Whichever's comfortable for your arm. I think this is probably the most comfortable way to do it. So my hands are just about together. And this hand's just going to start doing this little arc. Now this exercise in Pilates is often called chalk circles. And you can see why. Imagine that you're holding a piece of chalk. One of those really chunky pieces. You're just starting to draw a circle. And then you just make it bigger as you feel your arm and your shoulder can. And then as it feels you can go a bit further, you can start to open it out. I always feel that feels a bit strong just in one go, so I like to take it in stages. And this next one I'm going right round. Oh, that's nice. And your legs can open a little. Your body opens out as well. Your chest opens. The only drawback with this exercise, it does take a bit of room up because you've got that big stretch of your arms. It's worth it. Let's go the other way. And remember, find the range of motion that's right for you. So you might just stay like this. That might feel really gorgeous. If you want to make it bigger, get that full circle. But anything is good. Any movement that you're getting going, motion is lotion. Your body will thank you. Few more. You can see my legs just open and close as I sort of tip back with it. Oh, that's nice. And then just bring it back to the front. And from this position, we're going to push ourselves up. Bringing it back to sitting. And I'm going to suggest a sort of butterfly stretch or frog legs, whichever animal you prefer. So that could be nice and soft like this. It might be you want to bring your feet to touching. It might be you want to bring your feet closer to you. At the moment, I'm going to press back behind me because I want you to get a straight back. And I find when I bring my feet in really close, it makes everything curve. We'll do that in a minute, but let's stretch back first. So if I show you from the side, press away so you don't sink. And you can see my hands aren't flat. I find that a bit painful, so I like to press it with my fingers. That's it. And then I'm going to come round like I'm hugging a big ball. And you're controlling how much you bend. So it might be a super big ball and a very small curve of the spine. Then take your arms back, push away again. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, bring those arms forwards, curve over your ball, whether it's big or you're going to make it smaller and make that bend a little deeper. One more, breathing in, take those arms back. Breathe out, round forwards. Pull that belly back as well. And then sitting up, arms to the sides. Breathe in, take your arms up. Hands to the chest. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that. I will see you again next Wednesday back here at 4:30. Have a great week.